Greetings, everyone. My name is Siobhan, and welcome to the Comfy Couch on the Regular Network. I am a spiritual liaison, and I just want to talk a little more about what I do. I actually work with your spirit. Yes, I know that sounds like a little cliche, but it's really not. I do talk therapy that is very therapeutic in forms of psychotherapy. However, I get to the basis and the core of what is ailing you. I work with ages 8 to infinity. And when I say infinity, I mean you can be as old as Methuselah in the Bible, and I will help you, okay? With the help of the Lord, I promise. I get to the core of what's going on. I pull up what's really unsettling and what's unnerving and what's unraveling in your life, and I create a safe space so that you can come sit on the comfy couch to talk about it. And speaking of that, our first episode today is going to be about, you guessed it, mental health. As I stated, the Comfy Couch is a spirit-based, faith-based company. So I will my tone will be more of a spiritual sense than a natural sense. So please enjoy. Mental health for everyone needs to make sure that it is constantly sturdy. And when I say sturdy, I mean we need to learn how to do self-assessments weekly, monthly, yearly. We need to know how to take care of ourselves, our minds, our spirits, our emotions, our environment, how we socialize daily. I know personally from working in an inpatient hospital that it is a lot that goes on for someone that is struggling with their mental health. I know personally from my community, we are not taught anything about asking for help. We have absolutely no one to guide us, especially my 90s babies, our generations and before. Counseling was not a thing. Nothing therapeutic was on the forefront. I can speak for my men and saying, because I have brothers, and saying when they were growing up, it wasn't if something happened to you or if you did something that you can't speak about, you need to go sit down and let somebody listen to you and write on a notepad and then prescribe you something. It was none of that. It was what happens in this house stays in this house. And we have adopted that mentality down throughout the ages, making it a very unhealthy generational cycle for the children that we produce. Because now what do as millennials and whoever else is under millennials? What happens in here stays in here, okay? And that's not safe. It's not healthy. It does not get the job done. So many people are dwindling up here, and it is because we don't know how to ask for help. Help looks like this. Help looks like, hey, I have something that has happened to me that was very scary, and I need to tell an adult about it. I need to tell someone that I can trust about it. I have had sessions with children under the age of 17 that have had horrendous things happen to them, and they can never think about opening up their mouths to tell their parents. Their parents have to find out in the worst way. And being transparent, it's through suicide. And it's so heartbreaking. Just think, if you took 5 minutes out of your busy day, out of your busy life, out of your busy schedule to know and learn the warning signs about anything that has to do with your mental health, how better off you would be for yourself, because now you have these tools to navigate if you're suffering, and then how you can help insert yourself to save somebody else's life. Now, naturally, when we hear save somebody else's life, we're thinking, How am I going to be the superhero to jump in and save the day and save their life? I have so much going on in my life. It does not look like that, my loves. I'm telling you, it does not. A simple conversation, a simple, adamant, repetitive, hey, are you okay? And I want you to tell me the truth when I ask you, are you okay? That works. If somebody is speaking out of sorts and out of their character and you know this person at their core, the question to ask is your mental health intact? And if it is not, let's get you some help. And you also have to be very encouraging and let the person know or yourself know that you don't have to be embarrassed. That is such a stigma around mental health. A lot of us are embarrassed about the fact that our minds are fragile. And you can't be embarrassed about that because we were created fragilely for one person to really come in and fix us. But we'll talk about that on another episode. But we were created with certain things, and we need the human race to be kind and to be loving and to reward us in times of need. And when your mental health is fumbling, that is definitely a time of need where you need family, friends, and loved ones to rally around you. And you absolutely cannot be embarrassed to ask for help. There are a lot of good websites. There are a lot of good organizations geared around mental health and suicide that guide you into learning how to, okay? The how to's are so simple. It's literally a text message. It's literally a phone call that can last from 5 seconds to 20 minutes, depending on the severity of the matter. It's literally, if it gets out of control, dialing 911. Yes, family members and friends, I do understand that if you have ever been in a situation where somebody has had a psychotic episode or has completely had a break in their mental status, that calling 911 may make your relationship fragile. Let me tell you something as a piece of comfort and relief. You saved their life. This is for anybody who is struggling right now with suicide. Call 911. Call the emergency department to take you to get some help. Sometimes, you guys, all we seriously really need is somebody to listen. And I'm not talking about listening where you're in a college class and you have to be there in order to graduate because you need this last 3-hour credit. I'm talking about somebody sitting and actively listening to you, listening to your emotions, listening to your feelings and your thoughts, listening to what simply just drove you insane for an hour at work. Because if we don't have healthy spaces and environments to do that, they start to add up. And then adding up, they start to get to our surface, and then we crack and we explode. And then everybody is looking at us like, well, what happened there? I had no idea Susie was struggling. Yeah, you did. You just didn't think enough to actually sit and come over and check on me or to see if I needed a meal. I do understand, and I know for a fact because I was one person that struggled with stamping myself in everybody's life. I had to be the strong one. I had to make sure everybody's saying that Siobhan was the one that you call when you need anything. If you need prayer, if you need counseling, if you need food, if you need a ride, if you just need a safe space to come and lay your head, I am open. And in turn, not realizing how excruciatingly draining that made me. And then I had to figure out why I felt so weighed down and so burdened down and why I started to fall into bursts and spouts of depression. And I'm a bubbly kind of chick, okay? Depression doesn't have its way with me. And when it started to happen, I had to realize what I was allowing into my environment, what I allowed to come into my safe, peaceful space. And I had to reassess some things, okay? For me, prayer works. I had to pray and figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. Carrying too much, y'all. I was carrying too much. The burden of everybody else in my life, including myself, being a mom, going to school, going to work, trying to do the very best that I can because of where I came from. It became a lot. Now, I've never been suicidal. However, personally, I have family members who have died from suicide. Let me say that again. I have family members who have perished from suicide. And I went on a guilt trip, y'all. I was so out of sorts, and even still to this day, it affects me in a way to where when I get in that zone, I really have to pray my emotions right, because when you have a loved one take their lives, you start to look at your life. You start to look at everything that you didn't do, every text message, every phone call that you didn't send or make. You start to look at the time when you didn't travel to go see the loved one. Then you start to assess yourself and say, listen, is this something in me that's out of sorts and out of whack? Because how could they make that decision to not feel unloved? Let me tell y'all, if nobody told you that they loved you today, honestly, from the bottom of everything that I have in my soul, I love you. Sometimes we need to hear that. A lot of us don't hear it enough. And sometimes we hear it enough, but we don't feel it enough. People will just say they love you so that you can get out their way, okay? I love you. If that is what it takes to make sure that you stay sane for as long as you can, to know that it is somebody out there that has absolutely no idea of you, that is praying for you, to encourage you, and to make sure that you stop dwindling up here, and to grab peace for however long this video is that you watched, it is so worth it. Please remember, everybody, that you are so worth your life. You are worth your mental health. You are worth your spiritual health. You are worth every healthy environment. You are worthy of every good thing that happens and needs to happen for you. If you ever need help, please reach out to the Comfy Couch on Facebook. It is the Comfy Couch. And when you look it up, look for the pink couch with the pink pillows and the thriving, beautiful 2 green plants on the side. Also, you can reach me at Instagram on the Comfy Couch LLC1. I'll say it again. The Comfy Couch LLC1. And I will have more tags and handles for you guys to find me on soon. I'm not tech savvy in social media. I'm just starting to get back in, so y'all work with me, okay? I appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the regular network so that you can see more of the Comfy Couches episodes. We are going to be talking about everything, but the basis is going to be your mental health and encouragement, okay? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.